Calaroga Shark Media.
Hey there, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news, a daily briefing on stand-up comedy, comedians, and the comedy industry. Now, today is very political. If you don't like the political stuff, check out now. And if you listen to the show and you feel that I've loaded it one side or another, or I don't make fun of the candidate you don't like or whatever, put the clips under my nose. There's nothing loaded here. Now, I think some of my opinions on some of these folks does creep out from time to time, but I'm happy to make fun of everyone. Let's start with Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle was on PBS, and he discussed his opinions on the President of the United States.
How do you think he's doing?
He's joking, right? Man, come on, man. Nobody wants to feel this way. I don't think anybody wanted a war. They definitely didn't want to arguably lose one.
But when you're asking him to please do better, what was it in that moment that you were asking the president to do and to do differently?
Well, I believe in that same monologue. I reminded him that everyone on earth is counting on him.
Yeah.
I think I made the point that the presidency is no place for a petty person. So personally, I would say that, anyone in any type of leadership position, or even like a nightclub comedian like me, we have to suffer slights and injuries, and we have to kind of just let some things go, and we have to focus on what's actually important, and not cultivate a broth of confusion, which I believe he's doing that. But for political expediency or whatever reason, I don't understand his methodology. But I just know that Americans, I think everyone wants to have some semblance of peace. And they get there different ways. Some people think there's different things threatening their peace, But being a president seems like an opportunity to be a very unifying force. And I feel like perhaps he squandered that opportunity, to put it lightly.
Theo Vaughn also had some thoughts about the President of the United States.
And what American is this helping? Besides the war, the industrial war complex, what American, what hard work, what guy who's trying to take care of his family, or a single mother who's a nurse who's going to work and has to get home and get to her kid's ball game and has to be both parents. What farmer is this helping? What regular person is this helping? I just don't know. I don't understand. So yeah, that's what our president's up to, and it's baffling.
And George Lopez also has some thoughts about the President of the United States.
If you had cognitive decline, and you worked at Barragan's on Victory, and they said, hey, this vato right here that's laying out the silverware has cognitive decline. I don't think he should be near the knives. No, he'll be all right. You wouldn't let a valet person be cognitive decline and be working. Right. So we have a guy that's the leader of the free world with cognitive decline who is attacking the war with just on his own. I mean, listen, I always think everybody's Mexican, So I think Trump, he's remodeling the house he don't own. He's starting with other countries. Right. I mean, he's hired his son-in-laws over there, hired them. I mean, if you have a job where you can hire your family, you have a job. You don't have a carear, because they're not going to be like, who's this fool right here? I don't know. I just started working at American Express. I told you just to come. Like, maybe it might be. But I mean, the idea that this guy could get away with so much and have it really kind of go uncalled on.
Greg Gutfeld on Fox News slammed Jimmy Kimmel. Kimmel had been on Michelle Obama's podcast. On Michelle Obama's podcast, Jimmy Kimmel said, first of all, don't tell me what my job is. I don't tell you what your job is. My job is whatever I decide my job is. Whatever my employer allows me to do, that's what my job is. Greg Gutfeld told Jimmy Kimmel, look, he's right. He doesn't have to listen to criticism, but then don't complain about it. You can do what you want, and we could tell you what sucks. You get paid handsomely, so take it like a man and stop blubbering. People get criticized every day who make 1/100th of what you make in menial jobs, and they don't complain about the complaints. You don't even know criticism. Try being a right-winger for a year. Gutfeld added, I only complain when one of my friends gets shot and killed and you make up stories about it. Greg continued, "My feeling is he's hopeless because he's decided he's too important to be funny. He's incapable of self-deprecation. He can't poke fun at himself, and he lost the ability to be silly. I'm a fool. I'm the first to admit it. I embrace it. The less important you think I am, the better it is for me. No one mocks me more than me, and most of the insults directed to me from critics they took from me. So there." People are upset about Ramy Youssef earlier in the week. Ramy had stopped by Sesame Street and hung out with Elmo. Here's a quick clip.
Salam alaikum, everyone. I'm Ramy Youssef.
Oh, it's Elmo's Elmo. Mr. Ramy, what does salam alaikum mean?
Well, salam means peace, and it's a way to say hello in Arabic.
Raymond Arroyo on Fox News said, "I wish Sesame Street would stick to teaching kids about letters and numbers." And then Mr. Arroyo went on to say some other things that I'm not going to repeat. They were not very welcoming. Ramy Youssef was on The View and said, "I feel for them, right? I think they're worried about Arabic immersion, and it's got to be tough because I think they're supporters of the president. So imagine your president on Easter is tweeting praise be to Allah, and now Elmo saying Habibi. That feels threatening." Ramy said, "There's been lots of languages on Sesame Street, and there's been no backlash to those, so it actually really did surprise me." John Oliver shared that he's not a fan of the British royal family. He was asked about the future of former Prince Andrew. John said, "Long term, if I believed in hell, it would be there. I don't know where he'll end up. I had very little respect for that guy before all of this, so I don't know where he'll end up, and to the marrow of my bones, I don't care." By the way, you can keep up on the royal family by listening to the Palace Intrigue podcast. I'm the writer on that. We cover this stuff all day, every day, twice a day. There's a lot to talk about the British royal family. John Oliver also talked about Sarah Ferguson. Remember Fergie? She used to be married to former Prince Andrew, and all John Oliver said was he couldn't give a flying S word. Alex Jones is no longer in charge of Infowars. The Onion is taking it over. Comedian Tim Heidecker is the new face of Infowars. Let's listen as we head to the break, and I have cut this down a little.
Hey, everybody, I got some breaking news for you. It's looking very likely that global tetrahedron will seize control of Infowars in the coming days. The folks at Global Tetrahedron have asked me to step in as to run the show over there and become a big part of the future. So we're exploring. Sorry. My name is Tim Heidecker. I'm just here to let you know that I am now in charge of Infowars. It's an honor to take over the reins and chart a new path towards the future. We're looking forward to relaunching the site soon in the next coming months, and we're not really sure what we're going to do with it. We're talking about all sorts of ideas. We were playing around with it being a real estate broker service or a cryptocurrency exchange market, a place to store pictures, almost like a Dropbox account. Not sure. A lot of ideas, but very excited to take this on. And just want to wish everyone, extend a hand of friendship and grace as we proceed through this process. It's not going to be easy, but I can assure you that we have our best intentions in mind. We are in the city of brotherly love, and I want to extend that sentiment to all our friends over there, longtime fans and consumers of the Infowars products. We've got some exciting products coming as well. We're working with a company that will enable you to turn your urine into gold. So stay tuned for more information about that, and stay with us. Stay updated on Infowars for more information as this story develops.
Hulu is adding the Handsome podcast to their platform. Handsome features Tig Notaro, Fortune Feimster, and Mae Martin. Ari Shaffir caught up with the LA Times about The End, formerly known as This Is Not Happening. Not entirely true, John. You kind of were loose with the phrasing there, but you guys know what I mean. That thing. Ari said, "I'm excited to show some people, new people. Even with the live shows, I'm always like, let me show you two headliners you know, a mid-level guy you'll know, and let me show you two people that you just don't know." That's a good way to put together a show. That's what stand-up is in New York, LA, and even Austin. There are some killers no one has ever heard of, and they're destroyers. So I'm excited to show people Colin Tyrell because he rules. He's so funny, and his story's great. Tony Hinchcliffe's story was really good. He's a monster storyteller in every sense of the word now. And Roy Wood Jr. is so smooth it makes me feel like I'm needy and insecure on the stage. Sam Talent is going to be one people will talk about. Jim Brewer is so great. Steph Tolev crushed it with something fun and interesting. And wow, this is really tough. Every time I'm doing a promo for the show, it's like, what about this person and this one? Having Big J Okerson back was key because he's on the Mount Rushmore of this show, and we have three of those on the end. Jay, Miss Pat, and Ali Siddiq. We couldn't get Sean Patton out because he was shooting something, and Burt Kreischer had a movie or something with his daughter moving, or maybe it was a graduation. The LA Times said, it would be funny if Burt Kreischer paid to have a graduation move so he could do your show. Ari liked that idea. I said, yeah, just pay the school to move the graduation for a week. Don't you make like $50 million a year? It's so funny. It used to be crazy to think of someone making $100 million, and now there are like 10 comics who make at least half of that, and without doing press. And it's really cool. I haven't paid for lunch in so long, and Ali Siddiq has become so huge. He's like the success story of the storytelling show in its entirety. Everyone got helped a little bit, but Ali kind of broke off these stories, and to see him so successful and still so smooth, it's really cool. You can't be niche doing arenas. And there's this independent boom that's not going to wait for anybody, so it's another big win for us. It's our turn in the whole story of this. Speaking of Ali Siddiq, he and his daughter, Chef Jaden Gaines, are taking ownership of Rado Market. The restaurant is an all-day cafe and neighborhood market created by James Beard finalist Chris Williams. When Williams stepped away for his daughter's birth, Gaines stepped in as chef and general manager and has been running it like it was hers ever since. Williams approached Gaines earlier this year about owning the business. Ali Siddiq will be part owner and will act in a support role. And out of San Francisco, the SF Gate tells us about The Wash. The Wash was a one-night recreation of the legendary venue Brainwash, where Ali Wong got her start. Ali Wong had described Brainwash on Hot Wings, saying it was literally half cafe, half laundromat, 100% homeless shelter. Brainwash hosted open mic nights from April Fool's Day 1999 to its closure in 2017. MC Tony Sparks said it started out as an insult, oddly enough, because I was the monopoly of open mics. I wasn't welcome to the community, but the open mics all blew up really fast and got popular. They were calling me the Godfather, like they had to bow and kiss my ring to get in. Comics came from all around to be there to learn how can I get work, where do I need to go, stuff like that. The Gate tells us, as one can expect from an open mic, the quality was, let's just say, mixed. We'll see if they do it again. Sparks said, I hope this is a kickoff for bringing back that same energy we had back then when people worked together and everybody rallied around one another to make this whole comedy thing work. Let's see. I hope they do bring it back. And that is your comedy news for today. See you tomorrow.